Hello, thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Diaspora panel, Voice of the Diaspora. You are all welcome into the new year 2025. We want to apologize that we went off air for some time. We are back now. We are back in full force. And I want to take this opportunity to welcome my co-speakers, Mr. Olaitan Adedigba, who is based in New Jersey, America. Mr. Adedigba, you are welcome to today's meeting.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, and thanks for having me.
And my dear brother, Mr. Olalawa, who is based in Calgary, in Canada. You are also welcome.
Thank you for having me.
And Happy New Year to the two of you and your family. I wish
Yeah,
you a very good year.
wishing you the
Thank
same.
you. Same to you as well.
Well,
To all our viewers, I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. We wish you a very good and eventful year. So, today we want to discuss something that is of paramount interest to every Nigerian. We've seen in the last 1.5 years thereabout the workings of the governance of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In the last 1 year, we've seen all the things he's done, from the subsidy removal to the removal of subsidy on currency. We've seen actions on state police. We've seen a lot of interventions, social interventions being done, and it's gone a long way. But that's not the story. The story is that there has been a lot of gatherings in the north. There's been a lot of gatherings in the. It looked like some northern leaders have gathered together. They said that uh, they don't want Tinubu to have a second term. And they have gathered together, they are conniving together, and they are saying that they want to present a unified face in 2027. And they are going to present a unified candidate for 2027. So, Lighton, I'm going to talk to
yep,
you first, okay?
yep.
And the question I want to ask you is Tinubu working against northern interest? Is he cheating the North? Is he doing things against the North, as we were made to believe? Or is he just working for the interest of the whole country? What is your reaction to that?
Yeah, thanks for that question. I must say that the elites are the problem in Nigeria. When we are talking about tax reform in Nigeria, all over the world, there are countries that they don't have any natural resources. What it depends on is this taxation. That is what they depend on. And they are running their country with the taxation that they are getting. The county we have taxes, and we pay taxes. Anything you buy, the county they will deduct taxes on it. The state will deduct taxes. The federal they will deduct taxes on it. So, but what I'm saying in this sense, what I realize is that anything that again the few people, the calculated few in the north, they will be arguing that is against the north. Mm. Look at the majority of the north; they are in abject penury. Mm. Right, they are ganging up that they don't have free money. They don't have access to free money like they used to have. They are no more in banks whereby they are sharing money. They are no more in the oil sector, right? But what we want to do is we want to run Nigeria like a country should be run. We cannot sit down and be doing things and doing things the way we are doing it and we be expecting a good result. It is not done. These people who are coming together, how many of them how many of them are benefiting? I listened to one fantastic guy from the north this morning, right, in one of our platforms. The guy enumerated how the North can develop. Like as Sanusi Lamido said sometimes ago, he said the North are the enemies of Nigeria. The North are the enemy of the North. Right? These people they live fat on the Commonwealth of the whole nation. They are the one retarding the progress of Nigeria. Let this guy introduce whatever he wants to introduce. In introducing tax to Nigeria, is it going to benefit the only South? We should come up. We should sit down and think. Is it not the North where they have the groundnut, where they have the pyramid? They make groundnut, right? They are using groundnut to sustain themselves in the northern region. They are using cow, they are killing cow, and they are bringing it down to west. During Muritala Muhammad era, and Muritala, we are buying. Everybody we are buying it. They are doing ranching there in the north. Then they live fine. All these people now, because of the oil boom, everybody deserted all the what we are doing, what they are known for. They continue feeding fat on the nation. We are buying, and they are the politicians. They are the politicians and the army. They are the people causing this. Why a lot of people are wallowing in abject penury? That is why Hillary Clinton said, "Rich nation, poor people." Right?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lighton. That's a very good place to leave it. Let me go over to Shupo. Shupo, we know that Buhari, who is from the north, was in power for about 8 years. They did not complain that they were marginalized. He did a lot of things. Even the Southwest did not complain. Nobody complained. Now, Tinubu came now in the last 1.5 years thereabout. All the social interventions are both for the north and for the south. It's not like maybe they were giving money to people in the south. They're not giving money to the people in the north. For example, the student loan. In fact, most of the beneficiaries are from the north. And when you look at the distribution of ministers, the north have their great share. So, Shukwa, what exactly do you think is the problem? What are they complaining about? What is their problem? Should they be complaining?
Well, thanks very much for that question. Let me start by saying that I, for one, wasn't really a supporter of President Tinubu, during the 2023 general election. But it seems to me that if there were no complaints now, then it's really status quo. I think first and foremost, irrespective of where we're getting, these complaints from, it is an indication that things are changing, obviously. Something is changing, and people who probably used to benefit from whatever the status quo is are getting uncomfortable. I think we all agree that Nigeria needs to be restructured in some shape or fashion. We may not call it restructuring, but something needs to happen because status quo is not sustainable. So I think if we look at it from that optics, the amalgamation of the northern and the southern protectorate of Nigeria, one of the reasons why colonial Britain did the amalgamation was because the South was generating enough funding that they felt could be used to also run the North. And over the existence of Nigeria, you've seen resources that have been shared, by the Federation coming massively from the South. I think there is an opportunity for the North to step up and contribute something to the Federation. I think if you look at a lot of what President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been doing, the country is going now towards a structure where people actually have to contribute to the center. You eat what you kill. and you put, you contribute a portion of it to the center, not, resources from a particular region is being, shared by all states. That will make people who are largely being unproductive, who have no vision, for their own regions, very uncomfortable. So it is good now that we are hearing new leaders from the north that are emerging, that are saying, we have a lot of land, we can do a lot better through agriculture and livestock. I mean, we have countries that sustain their economies purely on those. So it's an opportunity, and I'm hoping that every region, and not speaking only about the north now, every region takes advantage of this opportunity to develop, from the grassroots, and contribute to the federation, as a whole country.
Thank you very much. So, okay, so let's go to the real meat of this conversation. Like these leaders from the north, they are saying that we're gonna stop you. We're gonna stop Tinubu from getting a second term, and they are rising up. We know we are hearing now that Malam El Rufai, who used to be the governor of Kaduna State under APC, who used to be a very strong member of APC, has now decamped, is now gone to the PDP, possibly to reunite with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. So if you look at the data, if you look at the statistics, the last 2023 election, Tinubu won I think about 8 million votes. His vote was spread between the Southwest and the North. Peter Obi won in the Southeast and the Middle Belt. Atiku Abubakar votes were spread between the South, the North, Northwest, Northeast, and Southwest. So now this is the first time that we are having a situation where somebody rose from the North, somebody rose from the West, somebody rose from the East. And the votes were shared into three equal parts, roughly three equal parts. Now, based on this statistic that we have, is it possible for the North to unseat Tinubu without the South?
It's
Do they have that
impossible
population? Do they have that population,
No,
strength?
what they don't know is that they don't have the population to unseat President Tinubu. Let's permutate in the north. Most of these governors, right? Because I heard some governors, PDP governors, they are saying that when come 2027, they're going to support President Tinubu, right? Not only that, President Tinubu is a game changer. He's a man to beat anytime, any day. Give it to him. If we go back to the drawing table, right, they will do the analysis. I believe with the once he has the support of these governors, right, and the local government chairman, the sky is not the limit, but the full step. He's gonna win the election. In the north central, right? The people their fear was, why should Tinubu pick another Muslim to be his vice president? But they've seen the fact now that because they think that the Christians will be neglected, right? So they've seen the light now. Tinubu is not a man of religion. I mean, he's not a religious boycott. So if we have chalk votes from there, in the northeast, right? They are where Shetima comes from, right? I mean, these people, we have a lot of votes there too. So in southwest and south, I mean, Tinubu is gonna win, no doubt about that. So what I'm saying in essence is there will be some people too, mind you, who come 2026, 2027, they will be realignment, right? They want Tinubu to stay, to remain in power. We can't be, enough is enough. You cannot be producing anything and be getting a chunk of the money. You don't produce anything, you want to be getting money. You don't produce. What about people? Let's do it the way it is being done all over the world. It is only in Nigeria that you don't produce anything, you are getting the chunk of the money. It's wrong. That is not the way to run the country. Towards the end of in the 21st century, you see, we are not we don't have a task. I mean, we don't have a scientific way of collecting taxation in Nigeria. We don't pay tax. The churches are there, they don't do anything. The mosque is there, they don't do anything. They are built, they are establishing university. Even with that, where we can even do a background check with it. When the number of people in the country is known. I'm happy the aviation and all these people, they are coming out, they are bringing it a fantastic idea on how to run the country. Aviation and internal affairs ministers. So I see a lot of things coming up, things that have not been done in Nigeria before. I see it coming up now. So it's just a matter of time. Let's give Tinubu for somebody who has the interest of the country at the back of his mind. They will want to give this guy a chance to rule again. Because by the time after 2027, when he wins the presidential election, Nigeria will be better for it. Not that we just continue the rule, and some set of people will just be sitting down and be dictating how to somebody will rule, somebody will not rule. It's wrong.
Okay, Lighter, your video is shaking. I don't know why your video is shaking. For some reason, just shaking it. Okay. But let me just pause you there. I'll come back to you later. Let me
Okay.
ask you for the same question. So the North are saying very vociferously, they are shouting from the rooftop, they're saying, we have the population to unseat you. We have it up to unseat you. We are the most populous. Based on the data and the statistics we have, I even heard, from one of the leaders who spoke today that they said that the North is about 130 million out of 200, that the South is only 70, and that the North is they have about 78% of the land of the land mass. Do you think, based on all these this figure that
Statistics.
that these spurious figures, do you think they are able to do whatever they like and just remove the president in 2027?
So it's interesting when I hear those statistics because the first question I always ask is, okay, if let's assume that that percentage of the land belongs to you, what are you doing with it? Nothing. What are you doing with that land? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. If you say you have the higher population, what is the productivity of that 130 of
Mm,
the whole
mm,
GDP of Nigeria?
mm.
So when we begin to actually listen to them and ask them questions, we will see that, well, I would like to say, if we put it in a positive way, you are a sleeping giant. Wake up and stop living on other people's resources if you truly think that you're a giant. Because when people come out to say, well, out of the 200 million, we're at 130, that means you're saying you are a giant. But you've been sleeping. You have a bigger chunk of the land of the land. So what are you contributing to the GDP? So these are questions that need to be asked. So I think if we look at it, first of all, from the data, and we ask questions, we will see that the issue is not really about governance. It is just about having power, first and foremost. Secondly, I think if we look at the last election, when you say the North, I don't think we can really say the whole North is together. From the last year or so, when you look at states like Kwara, Kogi, even I believe Benue, they all went
Benue,
8-2
Nasarawa, yeah, Benue,
the
Nasarawa,
last election.
Plateau. Mm.
Niger State even also went APC. Then, pick Abuja, Nasarawa, and Plateau, they all went Labour. So you are beginning to even see within that northern coalition.
So effectively,
are
when
already
you say
emerging.
north now, they're only talking about the northwest and possibly maybe northeast.
Okay, well, even if we put it at that, that means Kwankwanso and Atiku will have to align their forces. I don't see that ever happening. So I see probably Kano, going still with New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP. And if they don't, even if PDP eventually wins Kano, that vote will be fractured. So look, there is, I think one thing that is obvious is that there are new coalitions that are emerging. So there are new coalitions, and if I have to make any prediction, this is actually probably one prediction I'm going to make in 2025 going forward. We will begin to see new coalitions in Nigeria emerging, because I think it is very, very clear that the northern lawmakers are not legislating. Okay, they are complaining about the tax bill. What exactly is it in the tax bill that is not favorable to the north? I've only been hearing it's not favorable to the north. Tell me 2, 3, 4, 5 things that are not favorable. Nobody can point to them. And for God's sake, if it is not favorable to the north, float your own bill. Float your own bill, and let's debate the bills on their merits. So, as far as I'm concerned, it will be a really hard coalition to put the whole knot together to say we're going to unseat Tinubu in 2027. I see new coalitions that are emerging, that likely will be strengthened. I think, depending exactly on how the economy mostly looks, 2025, 2026 will set the stage for a massive showdown come 2027.
Okay. Thank you very much, Shupo. Lighton, I'm going to start asking you from where Shupo ended. Okay. Now, talking about coalitions, we can see that Nigeria now, we have three main parties: the APC, the ruling party; the PDP, the main opposition party; and the Labour Party, backed by the obedient movement. They all have their own territories. Okay. So now, if you look at the data in the last election, roughly, I think APC has about 8 million, PDP 7 million, and Labour Party 6 million, thereabout. So nobody actually won. They all won about 30-something% of the power of the votes.
Yeah.
Now, if you go into 2027 election with the same kind of voting pattern, of course, Tinubu will still win with the same margin, if not even bigger, because now he's been able to pull a few more people back into the party. So, coalitions, do you think that one, Atiku will contest for election in 2027? If he's going to contest, do you think Obi will be Atiku's vice president? Or do you think Atiku will step down and allow Obi to contest? Will Atiku become Obi's vice president? Or will Kwankwaso go back to PDP and become the presidential candidate? Or will he be Obi's vice presidential candidate? What kind of coalition do you think can defeat Bola Tinubu?
What I see there is everybody, they are all selfish. They will not, the Atiku will never step down. Atiku still want to contest. Atiku still believes in the power of money, that he will use his money to buy a lot of people, to buy the candidate, to buy all these people. So why Obi believes that, well, I've been a force to be reckoned with. I cannot be vice president. Even if Obi wants to be vice president to Atiku, the people will not. The Igbos will not like it, right? So what I'm saying is, they will still go back the way they fought the 2024 election. 2023 election. So that is the way it will go again. So what I'm saying is, Tinubu will still emerge. Come what may. There's no way they can do it. So Tinubu will still emerge as the president. But what I'm seeing is everybody will gang up. But now, for a well-meaning Nigerian who believes in that Nigeria should be better off, they will be opting for Tinubu. They will be. They want to give their vote to Tinubu. That is my opinion. But however, if these people they come back, the Kwakwanso become the president, I know this guy will not be party to be the vice president of Kwakwanso, right? Now, if it happens that it becomes the vice president of Kwakwanso, which I doubt very much, don't let me. I don't believe in hypothesis, but I mean we are just saying it. But let's come to think about it. Tinubu will emerge as the president, God's willing, 2027.
Thank you very much, Lighton.
Yes.
Shupo, quick question I want to ask you. Now, I've looked thoroughly at Nigeria's political history. What I found out is very interesting. I found out that the Hausa Fulanis have never, ever, ever voted for an Igbo candidate. And the Igbos have never, ever, ever voted for an Hausa Fulani candidate. The only thing I've seen is that Yorubas have voted for Hausas, Hausas have voted for Yoruba. I found that is. So if, let's assume, just for the sake of argument, let's assume that Atiku stepped down and say, okay, listen, I want to make a sacrifice. I'm stepping down. I'm not contesting. And he pulled Peter Obi's hand up. And Peter Obi now goes back to PDP. Let's assume that Kwankwaso say, okay, I don't want to be selfish anymore. I want to be, I don't mind, I will be deputy, I will be vice president to Obi. So Obi emerges just for the sake of argument. I mean, that is the best scenario, the best that we can have. Let's imagine, okay, so Obi is the PDP candidate and Kwankwaso is the vice presidential candidate. And let's say Atiku Abubakar is the party chairman. Now, do you think that basically I know that in that kind of instance, the Igbos definitely will vote for Obi. But do you think the people in the north, the northwest, the northeast, do you think they will vote for Obi?
Okay, so you bring up a lot of points in that analogy. So let's maybe split them one by one. If you look at the current landscape, we don't have an official effective opposition.
No.
The PDP is supposed to be the opposition. They are not showing up. And that is largely because of Atiku. I think if the PDP wants to become a political party that will perform its job as an opposition and that will emerge as a party that can actually win another election, Atiku absolutely has to go. Absolutely has to go. Without Atiku leaving, that party will continue to be a shell of what it could be. Okay, so let's get that out of the way. Now, if Atiku becomes chairman, which I believe he would never do because he's too selfish to do that, and Obi comes back to PDP with Kwankwanso as a vice presidential candidate, that is a potential winning ticket, a very strong ticket. I think when I said earlier on that there are new coalitions emerging, the coalitions are not only by regions, they are also across different demographics. For example, there's a coalition of younger people, younger Nigerians, who see the current older generation as the people who benefited and mismanaged Nigeria's economy. There's a coalition for me. There was a video I saw yesterday. A young northern man was actually speaking truth to power, talking about what the North can achieve with the land mass it has, talking about the North controlling growth and holding their citizens accountable by not just having children and not looking after them. So there are different coalitions. There are younger northerners who believe that with agriculture, livestock, they can develop the north, build prosperity, and do a lot of interesting things that they see, in the south. So um, I think if we look at, APC Tinubu against a PDP, um, Obi and Kwankwaso, it will be a really tough battle. I think the
Of the APC.
challenge would be the ability for Obi to convince, first and foremost, obedience that leaving the Labour Party and going to PDP is a good idea.
Okay.
Then he may shed some people, and not that obedience are going to vote for APC, they may just sit out the election. So I think there are a lot of permutations and combinations there. Obedience still largely believe that Obi has the right vision. The reality with Nigeria is being held hosted by cabals, and vision is not the only tool you need to build a new Nigeria. You need somebody who can deal with the cabals to be able to implement the vision. So there's a lot, I think, to play there. I think it would depend also largely on how existing institutions, the electoral, the INEC, the electoral practice, and all of these things can be further reformed to ensure that we actually have a level playing field. But
Okay.
without Atiku, relinquishing his quest for power, in fact, if Atiku contests on the PDP platform, it will be an easy win for the APC.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So, Lighton, now we've laid the trajectory now. So the North are saying they don't want Tinubu to get a second term. Do you think the North will now collapse behind an Igbo candidate like Obi to use Obi to win? Do you think that's something that they will do?
No, the Northerners, they will not support it.
Do you think the North will vote for Obi if Obi is a
No,
candidate for both PDP and
the
Labour?
not, no, even the not, how many of them? What is the percentage of these people who are saying that the North will not vote for Tinubu? Tell me, what is their percentage? When they are saying, are they talking about Kogi? Are they talking about Kwara? Are they talking about Nasarawa? Are they talking about Plateau? Are they talking about all these North Central? Eh? Even the Northeast. So these people did not West. They are the people that they are just exercising their mouth. No, is just they are feeling the pinch now. That is why they are coming out to say the Lord will not vote for Tinubu. When the chips are down, the Tinubu we have 25%. We have 25% in all the northern states, right? We have 25% in the southwest, right? The east, it might not. I mean, with the things, with the way things are going, it might make it. It might make 25 in some states in the east. So he provide once Obi agreed to be the vice president of Kwakwaso. So it's just a matter of time. Tinubu will win. I'm sure of that. I'm cocksure. Right. So
Okay.
the issue of saying Tinubu, they will gang up, let them gang up. Anybody that wants to gang up. Tinubu is doing the best for the country, right? And in a matter of time, the refinery that have been moribund for years, somebody is coming up to resuscitate it. Is introducing, is doing a lot of fantastic job that have not been done. Hitherto have not been in existence. So we are saying that it should go. For what? Why should we believe in darkness more than why should we believe in falsehood more than truth in Nigeria?
Okay, Lighton, let me,
Yes.
because of time. Okay, let me, because as we close now, Super,
Yeah.
one final question for you. So somebody like Tinubu, who was not in power, okay, he was not in power. the North was in power and was able to hijack that power from them. Somebody wasn't in power and was able to hijack power from you. Do you think it will be easy to get power from him when he's in power himself? Are you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody who doesn't have the power but was able to manipulate himself through and get the power from you. And now he's now in power. And somebody who knows how to use power. Do you think you'll be able to now take the power back from him? And mind you, the last time it was not the one counting the votes. But this time it's the one is going to count it now. So do you
Yeah.
think, based on that, do you think they are making the right moves? Do you think they are making the right moves?
So philosophically, I don't believe it's the right move. Again, as I said earlier, what we expect from all lawmakers, including northern lawmakers, is to legislate, and they're not doing that. I mean, if you are saying one bill is so bad that because
Mhm.
of that, you are going to, abandon your party and then replace the president, it doesn't show any legislative maturity. What you do is you sit down, you sit together, you bring your own points, or you draft your own legislation, and let the Nigerians debate them on their merits. Um, what is interesting is if you don't have that level of legislative maturity, it is very unlikely that you're going to succeed in replacing the incumbent. That's just the gospel truth. So I, for one, do not believe, I think the North will have been better served to sit down with the rest of Nigeria, sit down with legislators from other regions, and recommend amendments that you can make to the bill that you believe, will address northern concerns. That is
Okay,
what
thank you.
legislating means. That is not what we are getting from them. And that is the reason why whatever coalition or whatever thing that they're putting together is never going to work.
Okay, thank you very much. So we come to the end of today's conversation, and I want to say thank you very much, Mr. Olaito Adediba, all the way from New Jersey in America,
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And viewers back at home, thanks for listening to us.
and Mr. Odalawal, also from North America, precisely from Canada. Thank you for coming to today's meeting.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And we'd like to hear from our viewers as well. So let us know what you're thinking. Drop your comments, and we can move this conversation forward.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
to all our viewers, we want to say a big thank you. We are back now, and then next week, by the grace of God, we are going to talk about Biafra. What should the Nigerian government do with Biafra? That's what we're going to discuss next. So please hit that subscription button. It's free of charge. So which means that when we throw out the next video, the one on subsequent videos, you'll be one of the first people to know about it. And if you have any information, if you would like to get in touch with us, send your emails to info@diasporapanel.com. Thank you and have a lovely day. Goodbye.